Hello guys, this is Terry from Yokai Gaming TV. I'm coming back at you with the Yokai Watch ShadowSide episode 42 episode review. Today's episode, Urami no Valentine, or Bitter Valentine Day, or Valentine's Day. The word urami, it refers to a grudge. So that gives you a little bit of background. So let's dive into the episode. We start the episode out at I want to say a confectionery shop or a sweet shop with a chef or a cook working on creating chocolate. Or I guess he would be a chocolatier. And basically what happened is he went to add some additional material or ingredients to the chocolate, or was in the process of doing so, when the yokai of today's episode snuck in and infused with the chocolate within the chocolate bowl, and then became the ShadowSide version of what we had to handle in today's episode. And I'm just responding to something on Discord because there's always someone who messages me when I record or whenever I do a video. But basically what happened after that is we transitioned on to our clubhouse scene, basically where had Akinori, Ayame, Natsume, Keisuke, Toma, Whisper, Junior, and Fudomio, Boy, and Jibanynan. This is actually a welcome sight because I don't think we've seen Jibanynan much in the light side form in the past 10-ish episodes. And they were reading about what all was going on and the fact that chocolate has suddenly been disappearing from cake shops and supermarkets around Sakura Motomachi, and that is where they basically are around. So Akinori has a daydream of Hime giving him chocolate, more specifically a chocolate statue of himself. But then Junior breaks the bubble by saying, guys, there's no chocolate anywhere. I've looked everywhere. Or something along those lines, and is in a panic, and then Jibanynan actually busts through the door. And is it me, or am I the only one that thinks this, but Lightside Jibanynan reminds me of a Yakuza, kind of. I don't know why. I think it might be the redesign to give Jibanynan a more edgy and realistic look. But to me, he feels like a cat Yakuza, character design-wise. Even though it's simply the same design as before, just scaled up with realism and given a little bit of an age twist in the design quality. But this thing about chocolate makes me think of him sitting at a pachinko parlor with a bowl full of choco bars, eating them as he's gambling. I don't know why, guys. That was just a really weird thought. We're gonna go on with the episode. Fudomio Boy then also enters the detective agency, aka Akinori's room, through the window, because obviously Fudomio Boy doesn't need a door. And he's basically accusing the situation that maybe it was Akinori's fault that there's no chocolate or no choco bars, and he turns to G10 or Junior saying, Chocobo-sensei, where is the chocolate at? And they both look at Jibanynan, and they both start accusing Jibanynan for taking all of the chocolate there ever was. So as this is going on, Akinori sees that Hime and Natsume appear to be a little bit sad. Not sad, but disappointed. So he decides to go into full swing and want to hunt down where the chocolate had gone to. So they look on Usoland, the forum, to see what all is actually going on and to see what they can really do about the situation at hand. All in all, there doesn't appear to be much that they could really do. They did venture out to the chocolate shop or the confectionery shop where there was something that occurred, or where there was posted something occurred, but they were simply just guided to the kitchen by one of the people that work in the shop. And upon investigation of the room, it looks like a chocolate crime scene. Chocolate is everywhere, and Keisuke finds a chocolate handprint and freaks out and is pointing at it with Hime. We also have a small scene of Akinori's Obasan, or grandmother, making chocolate, and it looks like she is a witch brewing something in a cauldron, because it doesn't look like a mixing bowl to me. But back to the chocolate shop scene. They are looking at the handprint, and our boy Toma decides to use Yoshitsune to basically channel that power in order to see what's going on with the chocolate. And it seems as if the chocolate, or the yokai responsible, went down through the vent, conveniently placed right there on the floor. And as we know, vents always lead somewhere, but our crew doesn't really follow up on it. We now get a scene transition to Jibanynan getting ready to Scourge McDuck it up with his hoard of choco bars and chocolates. When he opens his choco vault, everything's gone. Not a single Hershey Kiss or anything. It's empty. And then we get a scene transition to Natsume's knight, Haruya. Yes, I am saying a knight because she needs to knight him, because Haruya might actually be useful. Shunin-doji could actually be viable as an ally. Maybe. He's just in love with her because Hime is Hime, and she's like, it's Hazukashi, it's so embarrassing. Stop embarrassing me, Haruya. Or Sakami-kun, stop it. And he's even, I believe he even offered to help. And she's like, no, this is something I have to do. And we get a small little mini scene transition, and it's like they only really show Haruya's eyes and like the top of his face, and him saying he's going to be her shadow, or going to watch from the shadows. Essentially, what that kind of translated to in my head is that he was going to follow them a little bit, but not get himself involved, and that's it, was really deemed necessary. So our crew basically heard a scream, and there's a building covered with, well, not covered in chocolate, but chocolate is pouring out of the crevices. It is not a good situation, and one of the chocolatiers tries to escape from the building, and 3 blobs of chocolate smash into him, and we get introduced to the sweetest woman ever. Guys, you know I was going to make that pun because chocolate is sweet. Jogora is the ShadowSide yokai for today, and I like how they kind of showed her off in that violet colored aura. And I just think someone should have just gave her a hug. I think that's all she needed. But no, they should have just sent someone in to be nice to her, because she's sad over something that she should be sad over, kind of. But I do digress. Let's go on. Natsume summoned Jibanynan Lightside, and Jibanynan Lightside gets that yellowish orange glow that Sanji from One Piece gets when he gets fired up, which I'm now thinking is the stereotypical let's get fired up method in an anime series now. So Jibanynan spins and gets himself into his ShadowSide form and goes to attack Jogura, but he is trapped by her in her chocolate power. Then Michi shows up and Michi says he is going to protect her. Michi goes in his ShadowSide form and tried to attack, but she shot chocolate balls at him and Michi was defeated. Toma then goes in as Goemon and tries to cut her down, but it wasn't really effective. I mean, sure, he cut her like a V across, but he wasn't really able to capitalize because he got chocolated. And then Akinori thinks he has it, but then she turns herself into a chocolate version of Ayame, or should we call her Choyame in this situation. And then she just causes a waterfall of chocolate to hit him, and he became a chocolate version of Akinori. He's completely coated in chocolate. Natsume, not wanting to mess around with the situation any further, summons Fubukahime to basically end the situation. She freezes Jogura, and upon the freezing causing Jogura to shadow, Jogura becomes, I believe it's Chiyoko, and Chiyoko is adorable. And Chiyoko's backstory was a little girl, or a young girl, made chocolate for a boy she liked, but the chocolate wasn't actually given, well, it ended up melting before it was really given to him, or he left it, and she just wanted to find the girl to make sure everything worked out, to make sure the love actually went through. And there's a phone call going on in the background. Right now, in my background, you may hear a phone ringing, but I can't get to that because I'm doing this. But they find the little girl as a grandmother, or as an obasan, with the guy that she was proposing to, or was asking out with the chocolate. And then Chiyoko gave her arc to Natsume, and we transition back to the temple where Obasan, or Akinori's grandmother, gives candy to Keisuke, Akinori, and Toma while she breaks off pieces. And now is the time where I talk about types of candy, or types of chocolate. There's Gilly Choco, which is obligatory or obligation chocolate. There's Honmei Choco, which is a type of Gilly Choco, which is meant for friends, colleagues, bosses, close male friends. But Gilly Choco has no romance involved. Then again, maybe I mixed that up, and Honmei Choco is given... Oh, it's homemade choco that's given to your boyfriend, girlfriend, lover, person. But there's also Tomo Choco, which is primarily given to your friends. But Ayame gave Akinori a piece of chocolate in the shape of his face. Same thing for Toma. Toma got Toma's face. Keisuke got Keisuke's face. Akinori was just Choco-walled. This is just Choco-gate. And then at the end of the episode we have Haruya and Michi both rushing for Natsume's affection. And Natsume gives candy out to basically everyone because she's a sweet girl. I hope everyone has a wonderful Valentine's Day. I appreciate you all. We've hit 250 subscribers, and it's all thanks to you guys. And I truly do appreciate it. Remember, if you're alone on Valentine's Day, you need to treat yourself right. If you don't have someone, that's completely fine. Get yourself a little bit of chocolate or your equivalent of candy and watch a nice movie, because that's probably what I'm going to be doing myself this year. So have yourselves a wonderful morning, afternoon, and or evening. Bye for now, guys.